All right, Luke, so down 8 at halftime. What did you think turned around in that third quarter aside from KCP hitting a ton of threes?
We started picking up our defensive intensity. That was the main thing. It was too easy for them in the first half, and I was watching tape on this team preparing. They're good. They're talented. Their record's not great, but they're in a bunch of these games, and they're really shooting the ball well. So I knew it was going to be a tough one. And second half, our defensive intensity got much better. Showed a lot of growth to be able to do that on the back end of a back-to-back, especially on the road coming off All-Stars. So really proud of the way they came back and left it on the court.
So your starters mostly got you a 4-point lead heading into the fourth, and then they had that quick run, and you went back to Julius. How important was he in that fourth quarter, and how did that kind of get things back in your direction?
Well, he was great the whole second half. I thought the first half he was floating a little too much. I told him, I said, this is not how you've been playing. You're our physical enforcer, and we need you rolling to the rim and being physical and grabbing rebounds. He did a great job of that in the second half. So on the road, you got to have a quicker leash. I trust Zoo to make it happen, but Julius was playing so well. He had come up to me already at the end of the third, told me he was good to keep playing. So I just went back to him. He was in a good groove at that point.
When somebody's as hot as KCP is, you have your ATOs and stuff, but was some of that coming in transition and off the flow? How do you kind of coach that when a guy gets into a rhythm?
All coaching. All coaching, nothing else. No, when you get someone that can shoot like him hot, you try to use him. Sometimes as a decoy, sometimes as a back screener, because guys aren't going to want to leave him. Got him to curl around a flare screen one time for a layup, things like that. So you got to anticipate how we would guard a player that gets really hot, that's a good shooter, and then try to manipulate it a little bit to get either him or some of his teammates better shots too.
He's been streaky, but how good has he been in 5 of the last 6 games where he seems to be in a groove?
Well, it's he's had a tough run. I thought he was playing really well early in the season. Then he obviously had to deal with some legal stuff, which is tough for anyone. Then when he came back from that, he was great. He was shooting the ball well, scoring. Then he got hurt, and then he's kind of had to find his rhythm again. So I think just keeping him on the court and letting him play every day has been, allowing him to find that rhythm. And he's to give him credit because he's done a really nice job of putting in extra work too. And we're such a better team when he's feeling confident and feeling like he's got that shot going for him.
When you say he's been putting in extra work, is that something that he started to do after when he was coming back from the injury, or has that been something he's done throughout the season?
It's definitely since coming back from the injury, but he's done it for most of the year. But unfortunately, what he's gone through, whether it be injury or the legal stuff, it wasn't always him being able to get that work in. But now that he's come back from this injury, he's getting those shots in every day before practice, and just really getting a nice rhythm of playing basketball. So we're a much better team when he's playing that way.
Coach, what did you think of Isaiah's game tonight?
It was good. He had some really nice moments for us. The thing about Isaiah is even if he's not making shots, he's just such a good floor general as far as getting other people open looks. So a lot of times he's collapsing that defense and getting our space shooters wide open threes. And we don't always hit them, but it's getting good shots, which is tough, especially in the fourth quarter of games where a lot of what we rely on is the flow and the transition game. Teams tighten up and defenses get much better. So that's when it's really important to be able to get those type of shots. And Isaiah did a really nice job of doing that for us tonight.
How nice is it to have Isaiah come in there for the kind of be your closer there as a vet, with the young guys? Last year, I think he was second in the NBA in fourth quarter points. So. He's a closer.
We got a taste of that last year in Boston. He's big time in the fourth, and it's nice knowing that we got a guy that's going to knock down free throws consistently down the stretch because we've struggled with that all year. Josh Hart did a nice job. Julius hopefully is in a gym somewhere right now shooting free throws, but yeah, having Isaiah, someone that's been through what he's been through, playoff series, and just been in this league and knows how to make big plays, take big shots, is helpful to have on our squad.
What went through your mind when KCP fouled Bogdanovich on that three?
Next play. Next play. That's what we told Casey. But don't worry about it. Next play. We'll keep getting better. You know, you'd like to finish a game off much cleaner than we did. But as we continue to grow as a team, you know, we'll take wins, you know, where we can, and keep. You know, we'll show all that stuff in film. We'll work on it in practice, and hopefully next time our execution will be better down the stretch.